Hey, you ever wonder why some people just seem to achieve greatness, while others work just as hard but fall short? What is it that really separates the best from the rest? You might think it's luck, talent, or maybe even the right connections. But science tells us a very different story. Today, we're diving deep into what actually sets the top 1% apart, and it's probably not what you think. So let's start with a myth buster. It's not just about working harder. In fact, research from Carol Dweck shows that having a growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed, is the real game changer. Think about that for a second. The best don't believe they're just born with greatness. No, they believe they can become great through effort and learning. Dweck's studies show that people with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges, learn from criticism, and persist in the face of setbacks. Now, let's talk about something even more surprising. Number one, grit. Angela Duckworth conducted a study across different high achievers, artists, athletes, and top students, and found one defining characteristic. It wasn't IQ, and it wasn't talent. It was grit. Grit, simply put, is the ability to persevere with passion over the long term. Duckworth says, enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. That's powerful, right? The best aren't the ones who sprint, they're the ones who stay in the race for miles and miles despite the blisters and fatigue. Number two, focus. A study from the American Psychological Association found that top performers spend 5 times as many hours deliberately practicing their craft compared to others. And by deliberately, I mean they focus on their weaknesses, not their strengths. They practice what's uncomfortable because that's where growth happens. This is true for athletes, musicians, and even CEOs. They all follow the same principle. Focus on the hard stuff. It's not glamorous, but that's how they sharpen their edge. Number three, selective focus. You know that quote, the successful say no to almost everything? It's true. According to a study by the Harvard Business Review, high performers are masters at saying no. They're selective with their time and energy. They prioritize what matters and don't get distracted by the noise. Steve Jobs used to say, focus is not just about saying yes to the thing you want to focus on. It's about saying no to the 100 other good ideas. So ask yourself, are you saying no enough? And let's not forget about physical health. Research from the University of Chicago found that regular exercise improves cognitive function and decision-making by up to 20%. The best understand that their body is a machine, and to perform at its best, it needs fuel, sleep, and movement. They're not just working their mind, they're working their body because they know the two are deeply connected. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Emotional intelligence. Studies by Daniel Goleman, a psychologist and author of the book Emotional Intelligence, show that 90% of top performers have high emotional intelligence. They manage their emotions, navigate social complexities, and build strong relationships. The best don't just focus on what they do, they focus on how they feel, how they make others feel, and they build environments that foster collaboration, trust, and respect. So, to sum it up, what separates the best from the rest isn't some secret talent or luck. It's mindset, grit, deliberate practice, selective focus, physical health, and emotional intelligence. But here's the real kicker. All of these things are things you can develop. You can grow your mindset. You can build your grit. You can train your focus. You can take control of your emotional intelligence. The best didn't start out extraordinary. They became extraordinary by choosing to work on the things that most people ignore. So what's stopping you from joining the ranks of the best? Remember, it's not where you start, but the choices you make every day that set you apart. The difference between average and exceptional is in your hands. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more insights like this, and drop a comment on what you think is the biggest factor in separating the best from the rest. I'll see you in the next one.